you and I have been working on this for a long time, and I just want to put a fine point on some of the things you said to make it clear to all of my colleagues what we're actually trying to do here. So how long has the university held title to the land in question?
Since 1968.
So for over 60 years, almost 60 years, the university's had title. We're just talking about a cloud on the title. And you and I have talked to people before, and they keep referring to this as a land transfer. The land
was transferred essentially many years ago.
Decades ago.
Yes.
And what does it look like right now?
It looks like a typical research park with many buildings and startup companies. There is there's space on the land to expand.
So I've spent a lot of my professional career working on Bureau of Land Management issues. I know what typical BLM land in Utah looks like. There's usually sagebrush involved and a lot of open space. Does this in any way resemble, say, the West Desert in Utah?
Yeah, we don't have any sagebrush on this property. It is business buildings and some parking lots.
Yeah, I think the Bureau of Land Management would have a hard time writing a resource management plan for the research park at the University of Utah. I don't think they could manage it. We're talking about this in terms that don't even make sense. There's no public purpose that would be served by the reversionary clause. In my opinion, you don't have to respond to that. But how does the current legal ambiguity around research parks lease impact your projects, funding opportunities, and strategic planning?
Yeah, we currently, the cumbersome regulations basically leave the research park locked in time, unable to update to needs that are evolving.
And I know you went into it just a little bit, but the research initiatives you're doing out there, how do they benefit the public?
Yeah, if you look at the past, this is a park that will do a lot to advance human genetics. If you look at the companies that have come out of there recently, all of them are biotechnology based. They've been hugely successful in kind of improving the human condition through genetic research.
So if we were to put this on a scale, on one side we have possibly curing cancer or other genetic diseases and improving human lives, and on the other side we have maybe managing a piece of land in the middle of a developed downtown area for some multiple use that doesn't exist anymore, that hasn't for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of putting it. I think we would lean into the development of future technologies on this land, and we need some relief from the cumbersome regulations that currently exist.
So as far as, we're not talking about recreation here, but as far as public purposes go, it's a university, it's research, it's human health, seems like a public purpose. How does ensuring the long-term stability and success of the research park benefit the state of Utah, besides just the university?
Well, I will say, if you look at the economic benefit that comes out of the companies that are incubated there, it's tremendous. Even more, the human capital that is trained through these companies spawns more companies. And so you quickly get into a virtuous cycle, particularly in the area of biotechnology.
Thank you. I think I've made my point, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to yield my time while I still have time left, which I never do. So thank you. And thank you, Mr. President. The rest of you got off easy because I'm really focused on this one.